All right, folks, that was a banging start to the US Open 2021. Lots of drama, lots of great matches, so we just got to get into it. We had Djokovic not having the crowd behind him as he went for his as he started his campaign for his 21st Grand Slam and the actual Grand Slam, the calendar slam. Pretty crazy scenes. Him playing friend of the show, Holger Rune. We're going to get into that. We also had Bathroom Gate. Tsitsipas again getting roasted by Andy Murray, this time for taking too long to go to the bathroom. We're going to get into that. Opelka defended Tsitsipas and then attacked the media. It was crazy. Nick Kyrgios threatening to go out of the top 100 with his ranking. What is his future? So much to get into. That is just the tip of the iceberg. This is The Slice presented by Rally Tennis, coverage of the 2021 US Open Round 1 Roundup. Let's get into it. Well, as I said, folks, this was just an awesome start to the tournament. We had our guy Julian on the ground at the US Open, getting some little snippets for you guys like this. Check this out. That's from the Rune versus Djokovic match tonight. Isn't that just amazing? In the trenches, doing the important work of the journalists that The Slice was built on. So that's epic. What a start to the US Open. Like I said, Murray roasting Tsitsipas. Drama, great matches. We're going to get into it. Rally Tennis is our presenting sponsor. Rally is an app where if you're in the US, you can find practice partners, local leagues to play in, and you can dominate in the playoffs in your league. So if you want to play more tennis, if you want to play players that are fine-tuned to your level, you want to play players a little bit better, you want to find easy ways to schedule matches, go check out the app, download it at the link below, and shout out to Rally Tennis for supporting The Slice and our work. Now, Djokovic versus Rune. This was an amazing match set up because if you've been following us, we interviewed Holger Rune on the show last year as he was like 16 years old, defending French Open junior champion, number one junior in the world, just trying to make his entrance onto the scenes of the professional ranks. And he was legendary enough to come on our show, so now we're kind of like tight. He follows us on Instagram. We're in the Holger Rune camp. Now, we watched him go through qualifying after going from like ranking 600 to like 140 now in the last year. Amazing stuff. And then he qualifies and then gets put up against Djokovic. So it's big time. It's just so cool to see. I thought he had barely any chance to win, obviously. It was just going to be an awesome place for him to play. He wanted to be in the bright lights. And he's also a serious gamer, and he's got a serious game. So I knew it'd be actually tougher than some other opponents would be for Djokovic. Started out, obviously, to script 6-1 Djokovic. But then it kind of flipped the script, and Holger was playing the way that he needs to play against Djokovic, not giving him a ton of pace, kind of baiting him into having to inject the pace. And Djokovic was making a lot of mistakes. Went to a tiebreaker, and in the tiebreaker, this is where it got interesting. Djokovic's serves weren't as good as they had been or have been, and Holger was able to get that tiebreaker. And then shortly after that in the third set, though, Holger started to have brutal leg cramps, which transitioned into body cramps. Super sad way for that match to end. But the real story is the crowd. So the setup is Novak Djokovic going for the Grand Slam, going for his 21st slam to break the record of all-time slams for the men, and he doesn't have the crowd really behind him. The crowd was cheering for Rune, but as Chris Fowler, another friend of the show, was watching, said it wasn't really that they were just rooting for the younger guy. They were kind of cheering against Djokovic. Like they were cheering for his double faults in the tiebreaker. And then they were also chanting, this is a big thing, they were chanting Rune, like Holger Rune's last name. But Djokovic said afterwards that he thought that was booing. So Djokovic was like confused. He's like, what is going on? I haven't done anything. I'm like, going for history here, and the crowd's really not, they're actually against me. And I think this is a lot of like pent up, like PTSD, like emotional trauma from his interaction or history with the crowds at majors. He's always hated, and his fans have hated that the crowds don't love him as much as they love Federer, Nadal. So there's this ongoing like kind of tension between them. Him and the US crowd have a big tension from history past. So he seemed definitely, understandably confused and kind of pissed off that they weren't on his side. I don't think they were as against him as he might have thought because of the boos, but they were definitely cheering for Rune in the general part of that match until the injury kind of happened. So what is your thoughts on that? Obviously, Djokovic fans are going to be like, this uneducated, stupid New York crowd needs to learn how to have some respect, etc. And the other people would say, well, at the end of the day, it's the crowd that pays the bills for all this to happen. So there's no right or wrong way to cheer. They're just cheering for who they like. And it doesn't happen to be Djokovic most of the time, which is a shame because Djokovic is obviously a great guy. He's going for the 21st slam. It was really cool to see Djokovic at the end console Rune Holger and say, sorry, bro, like it sucks that you're having cramping, et cetera, et cetera. It was just a weird kind of start to the campaign for the Grand Slam for Nole. Don't love to see that. But yeah, Djokovic, there's not much of a level setter here. He played good in the first set. Holger was a bit tight, and then Holger played good, and Djokovic, they were even there. I don't think Djokovic wants to be even with 18-year-old Holger Rune. So that wasn't much of a level setter, a little bit rusty from Djokovic, but obviously got through. So that's obviously a good sign. Would love to know your thoughts on that. I'm sure you're going to give them to me. Bathroom gate. I don't want to talk about this forever because it's already been discussed a million times, but you need a slice on it. So the slice is that Tsitsipas, yes, takes way too long to go to the bathroom. It was hilarious that Tsitsipas took what he was changing into in a clear plastic bag. I think that was as like a diss to like Zverev for saying, look, there's no phone in here, you bonehead. I'm not cheating. But I don't know. People are still going to have their suspicions. Kyrgios was seen saying that, yeah, he could totally be cheating. Opelka was saying, no, there's no way. Why would he do that? That's just not going to happen. And Andy Murray was rattled. Now, I could see him being annoyed. Everyone's kind of annoyed with Tsitsipas taking these long breaks. But I think Murray got too rattled. He got rattled like a bit rookie-ish. Obviously, he's trying to fight his own body. He's 34. He said, these long breaks cool him down. But what Opelka brought up was like, dude, if you're going to go to the bathroom and you're going to change your shirt, your shorts, your underwear, take out the soles in your shoes, maybe change shoes, do your socks, actually go to the bathroom, and then come back out. Like that takes 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. I don't know. Tsitsipas was taking a little bit longer for sure. It could be cut down. But he kind of put it a little bit in perspective. He also was like roasting the media, saying like, if you think that that's ridiculous, if you've never played sports, I'm like, well, most of the commentators all were like professional tennis players and like didn't like all thought this was ridiculous. So I don't know if he has that great of a point, but there's kind of like a middle road here where I think it's funny that Tsitsipas is doing this. He is clearly doesn't care and he's going to keep doing it. He said he actually learned the power of the break from Djokovic when he took a bathroom break before the fifth set at the French Open match. So I don't know. Lots of perspectives to go there on toilet gate or bathroom gate, toilet, washroom break gate. I don't know. But interesting scenes there. I'm kind of like, I'm annoyed that he takes this long. I think there should be like a 5-minute max. But it's hard to police. I don't know. It's just going to be a thing, and I don't think it's going to be stopping going forward. But I don't think Murray should have got as rattled as he did, but he did have some funny tweets, and, Murray's just kind of a rattled guy on the tennis court in general. But it was epic. Julian, again, got this clip. Of Murray going, I'm not effing done. Let's go, let's go. That's epic scenes to see from old Muzzard there. What's your thoughts on that? Nick Kyrgios drops to world number 89 after going out in the first round at the U.S. Open. He didn't have a great performance against Roberto Bautista Agut, who's obviously a tough first-round opponent. That's why your ranking needs to be higher. But it's been tough with COVID, obviously. So my worry is that Nick might drop even further down the rankings. Like he might play the Laver Cup and then just finish his season. But if he drops outside of the top 100, he's not going to be getting into ATP, Masters 1000s, ATP 500s or anything just with his ranking. He's going to need wild cards and you never know how it goes. So if he drops way out, I can't really imagine him playing challengers to get his ranking back up. I don't think he has that much drive to do it anymore, which also makes sense. So I don't know. The future of Nick Kyrgios is looking a little uncertain, which I don't love. I'm a huge fan of Nick Kyrgios. I'd love to have him on our show. We have sent him some footage, and he's used it on his Instagram. He's shared a bunch of our posts. I think he's great for the game. He had Towelgate with where he was getting pissed off that he was getting time violation warnings because he had to walk back and forth, and he threw it on the grass. And Carlos Bernades, I think is his name, just was like, pick up the towel right now. He just had enough to it with him and just told him to do it. And Nick Kyrgios, it's kind of like a parent scolding a child. It was quite funny. But yeah, future of Nick Kyrgios is a little uncertain right now, which is unfortunate. But yeah, a lot of other great matches though. We had Shapovalov and Felix getting through. Shapovalov playing very solid today, looking confident. That's amazing. Felix getting through. Bianca Andreescu is just finishing her first set right now. I don't even know if she won or lost that first set. But I'm assuming she was going to bring it through. 2019 champion. We're always going to back BB. So, Canadians are on a roll. There's been lots of great matches. I know I'm not even doing this first couple rounds justice and all the things here. But if you follow at the Slice Tennis, that's me on Twitter. I'm tweeting during matches, giving updates all the time, and trying to become. It seems like all the real tennis journalists are on Twitter, so I'm trying to have more of a presence there. So if you could do me a favor and all go follow me on there, that's where you'll get the most quick up-to-dates from me as I watch these matches and just give my reaction, give the slice. Shout out to Julian, who's on the ground at the U.S. Open, doing the work there, getting the behind the scenes, takes the slice from behind the scenes. That's epic. Shout out to Rally Tennis for supporting the show. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the crowd versus Djokovic. What's Djokovic's level at? Is he looking good? I thought Zverev looked amazing. Medvedev looked amazing. Tsitsipas got through in 5 sets versus Murray. So all the big seeds are still there. All the top 4 contenders all made it through the first round. We will see what happens in the second round. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, and we will see you here back for a second round roundup shortly. Thanks, guys. The official betting partner of the Slice during the U.S. Open is betobet.com. You can go use their service to place your responsible bets during the U.S. Open and try your luck there. Thanks to them for supporting the show as well. The link is below for that.